Hey guys, Luke here, and we're here to preview round 21 of the 2015 NRL season. We've only got 6 more weeks into the final, so a little bit over a month. But let's get into this week's games. So we've got the Tigers taking on the Storm, we've got the Roosters taking on the Bulldogs, we've got the Warriors taking on the Sharks, we've got the Cowboys taking on the Raiders, we've got the Seagulls taking on Brisbane, we've got the Dragons taking on Newcastle, and we've got the Rabbitohs taking on the Penrith Panthers, and we've got the Titans taking on the Eels. Now there's quite a few good matchups here. So we can start with Tigers and Storm. Now I'm going to pick Storm to win this one. Although I think they're very underdone in terms of obviously Slater's a big loss. I think they had a good win last week. Tigers I just don't like the Tigers at all. I don't like their coach. The side, I don't know, something about their side I just can't like them. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. So yeah, I'm going to say Storm by a lot, probably. I mean, Robbie Farah is a big inclusion for the Tigers, so he should help a little, or he should help massive amounts, but you never know. Dan Halliday moving into the second row for Farah to come in, but maybe Farah's going to be underdone. I mean, they're trying to not get the spoon, but yeah, I just can't see them beating the Storm here, so I'm going to say Storm 13+. Moving on to the Roosters taking on the Bulldogs. Now, my side's the Bulldogs, so obviously I'm going to pick the Bulldogs biased, it's just so biased. I'd say the favourites would be the Roosters. They've been winning. I don't think they've been playing well, but they've been winning. Bulldogs been so hot and cold. Plus, you see this lineup here. No Josh Reynolds, but had he not got suspended, he would have been named as well, even though he's out. Pritchard won't play. You wouldn't think so. Moses, I think, is a good addition. Moses should be in the side. It's just a matter of who he should be in for. But he's got his chance. Hodkinson and Mbai have worked pretty okay in the past. I think Laffey is, he's just poor. He's so bad this year. I don't know what's going wrong with Laffey. I know he's had a few injuries, but just seemed bulky and no movement, just terrible. And I feel Curtis Rona doesn't get the ball as much, but I am liking Josh Morris getting a lot more ball. It's just a matter of just getting enough space so Morris can get the ball to Rona. Yeah, with the Sharks game, nothing seemed to go right. Just everything couldn't get out of second gear. I will say, I thought the refs. I'm not saying one decision by the refs. I'm saying as a whole, just constant penalty after penalty. I mean, obviously the drop balls slowed the game down as well. But no either side, both the Bulldogs and the Sharks just couldn't get into any sort of rhythm because penalty kept getting given. If I can pronounce my words, wow. Yeah, so if you're the smart money would be on the Roosters, you'd think, but Bulldogs turn up for those big games against the Roosters and that sort of stuff. So I think it'll definitely be a contest. But yeah, I'm not really going to give a scoreline for that one. Moving on to the Warriors and the Sharks. Sorry, my voice is going a little bit. So I just talked briefly about the Sharks just then. They won. They weren't particularly good either. I thought their attack was very, very poor. Probably a good thing that Antrim feeder's out because he was awful, can't play the ball. Hyington in the front row, I'm not really sure what to go with there. Barber off the bench, I don't know if that's a success or not. I know he's come on and scored a few tries and that sort of stuff, but I just don't know if you can carry another little fullback, half, whatever, on the bench and keep taking off players like Michael Gordon and be a serious threat for the top 8. Warriors not good against. Well, they were very, very poor against Manly, and I can only see it getting worse this season with Johnson being out. At the same time, though, they might fire up, and because it's in New Zealand, I know the last game was in New Zealand as well, but it's no secret that they're so hot and cold. So this could be a week where they just fire up due to the fact that they got humiliated last week. Yeah, and also I can see Sharks after having a pretty good win, pretty solid win. I mean, I know they only just won in the end, but it was pretty comfortable, I'd say. Maybe they got up for that game last week because it seemed like they were really fired up last week. Maybe they got up for that too much, and this week I don't know, they'll take a little bit too easy, maybe. But I'm gonna go with the Sharks, 1-12. I think it'll be a tough one. But moving on to the Cowboys and the Raiders. Now, Cowboys keep continuing on their great form. Obviously, the salary cap stuff, it's all been talked about a lot and that sort of stuff. Nothing really to it according to everyone in the know or whatever. But is that going to be a distraction? You wouldn't think so. I mean, when you got players like Thurston and You know, there's a lot of players who have been there, done that, except for win a premiership. That wasn't a shot at them, just they haven't won a premiership. But yeah, there's a lot of players who've, you know, they've played at the highest level, the state of origin, to play for Australia. They have all the pressure in the world, so they should be able to handle a little bit of media pressure or whatever. Raiders, on the other hand, they've got to keep winning. They've got to keep winning. They can't afford to drop points at this stage. Joseph Leilua in the centres, pretty good. Austin and McCrone. I mean, McCrone, first game in a while was last week. I think their combination will just keep getting better, you would think, with more games. I don't think they've played together before, so apart from last week. So, yeah. I'm going to say Cowboys will win, but I can definitely see Raiders pushing them. Oh, man, I just can't even pronounce my words this video. Anyways, I should say a score line. We will go with 1-12. I think, like I said, Raiders will push him, but Cowboys get the win. Moving on to Seagulls and the Broncos. We've got Seagulls. This game, I thought for sure they were gone before, but I didn't expect them to win last week. This week, though, I think this is where their finals hopes are crushed completely. There's no chance after this at all, like mathematically, I think, as well. Taking on the Broncos, who are in first spot, haven't really shown any signs of falling off or dropping off. In fact, they just seem to be getting better. Now, I've said in the past that I don't think Broncos don't impress me a hell of a lot, but I think they've impressed me enough to say that they'll beat Seagulls pretty comfortably as long as they play half decent. But yeah, I think Manly were a lot better last week, though a lot more injuries as well, so they got that to deal with. Not sure who's going to end up playing and who won't and that sort of stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's not at Brookvale, that's Central Coast. That's a pretty bad time to be taking a game away against the top rated side. But, I mean, I suppose they need the money, Manly, so they've got to do that. I'm going to go Broncos. I'm going to go 13+. I think they'll run right. Maybe not straight away, but I think eventually. Moving on to the Dragons and the Knights. This is an interesting one. I mean, obviously, Dragons were really, really good at the start, and they're just on a really, really big losing streak at the moment. Knights just have been crap the whole season. Jared Mullen out for the season as well, so just when you think it might get a little bit better for the Knights, just turns to shit once again. But for the Dragons, this is probably the perfect team for them to try and stop the slump. You'd say, especially like the top 8 is in contention here. Like not too long ago, they were first in the ladder. Now they're struggling to make the 8. But yeah, like I said, perfect side for them. Knights are crap. They really suck. Pretty much all over the board. They're just not good. Dragons do have a lot of good players, a lot of injuries. Well, they had a lot of injuries, but they're coming back from injuries. Still finding their feet. I think Dragons will win this one by a lot. 13+, I'm going to say. Although Dragons have shown that they're not really a top attacking side. They sort of just grit it out and win 1-12, that sort of stuff. But I'm expecting a big win from the Dragons. They're going to hit back, I think. Moving on to the Rabbitohs and the Panthers. This should be a great game. Obviously, Rabbitohs, very, very strong side, looking at a top 4 finish, taking on Panthers, who are not a great year, but they'll still fight. I can see a lot of things talking about Jamie Soward, like him coming out saying they won't stop fighting till the end of the season, that sort of stuff. And I think they're a team of fighters. Unfortunately for them, they don't really have the ability to keep up that fight with some of the big sides like Rabbitohs, but they're definitely going to try really, really hard, so you don't have to worry about effort, I wouldn't think. A lot of youngsters in their side, so they could come out and produce something magical, or they could just be total shit. That's just what happens when you have young players. Will Smith at fullback, I didn't see him last week. I haven't watched the Panthers for a while, but I'm not sure how Will Smith goes at fullback. But yeah, up against English, Johnson, Rabbitohs were incredible last week. So good. And they just seems to be they're just like timing their run perfectly for the finals. I'm going to expect a big win by the Rabbitohs, 13+, I'd say. Sorry, Panthers fans. Moving on to the last game of the round, the Titans and the Eels. This should be a pretty good game, I think. Both sides have got some pretty good attacking players. Titans is sort of pass it to James Roberts and see if he can score, and Eels pass it to Raja, see if he can score. I'm going to say Titans win this one, just due to the fact that I think Caesar and LG, Hoffman at fullback. I mean, Falloon's played. He's not great, but he's played a lot. All their combinations are pretty good in their spine. Where the Eels got Reece Robinson, who he is very, very fast, but he's not the best fullback. Joseph Paulo isn't a 5'8". I'm not really sure what position he would be. I mean, he's kind of not really any. He's sort of like a mix, but not really good, like great at one. Luke Kelly, he's a pretty poor halfback, and Pizza's a good player, but he's missed a lot of football lately, so I don't know. I don't know how they go. Isaac DeGoes on the bench, be rotating with him, but yeah, I just think Titans will be too strong. I think all over the park they look a lot better to me, to be totally honest with you. So I'm going to say Titans 13 plus. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I've enjoyed the video. If you can subscribe to my channel, it'd be very much appreciated. Like the video. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Luke on YT. Facebook page in the description below as well. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.